Welcome to the cradle of civilization. The country which has been existing for millennials, which has now a rich embodied culture. Welcome to Egypt. Egypt is a democratic country with a strong military establishment led by the President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. It is the third largest country in Africa with over 160 million people. Its capital is Cairo, and the main religions of its country are Islam with a small minority of Christians. Following up, Bilal will be presenting the cost and starting up a business in Egypt. Hristina will then talk about the laws, the taxations, and the business sectors what should target. Edvardas will talk about the tribes and explain the cross-cultural differences. Jane will then talk about the business etiquette. At the end of our presentation, Maria will briefly conclude every important point.
So today guys, we are going to talk about starting a business in Egypt. Normally it takes around 8 to 15 days to start a business. We also have special zones such as free zones, also known as GAFI, that gives additional incentives, for example like tax exemptions, in order to encourage foreign investments. For example, in limited liability company it costs around 30 to 50,000 Egyptian pounds. And in joint stock company, which is normally on a larger scale, it costs around 250,000 to 300,000 Egyptian pounds. Moving forward, if you're planning to do a sole proprietorship business, it normally costs around 500 to 1,000 Egyptian pounds, which is normally not that much. Last but not least, the most common type of business, the partnership, that involves 2 or more individuals in order to open an enterprise. That normally costs around 1,000 to 2,000 Egyptian pounds. These are the minimum costs of the businesses. If you are planning to have offices, spaces, notary fees, legal and consultation fees, they are all added to the additional costs.
Let's talk about laws and regulations. Legal blend are civil law, sharia and customs. Civil law basics are rooted in Napoleonic code. Islamic law root are personal status. Code system are 3 tiers: civil, criminal and family, and those social norms. About the tax overview, corporate tax is 22.5%, personal income tax progressive from 10% to 25%, VAT is 40%, special incentives and withholding tax are from 10% on dividends and 20% on interests. About the business sector to invest in are tourism, energy and renewable, agriculture, ICT, infrastructure, construction, and digital transforming.
Most of the population consists of Egyptians, but there are also minorities such as Nubians, Arabic Bedouins, Berbers, Bedja, Greeks and Armenians. While their cultures are different, they have some similarities. Everyone in Egypt knows how to speak Arabic. That's a fact. Unlike Egyptians, who are more individualistic, tribal loyalty and family bonds are more important among Nubians, Bedouins and Berbers. Music holds a special place in these cultures. Musical styles range from Nubian rhythms to Bedouin poetry and urban pop. Traditional foods such as Nubian stews and Bedouin bread coexist with dishes from Mediterranean and Levantine cuisines. Also, religious and seasonal celebrations often blend influences from various groups, reflecting Egypt's layered history.
Doing business in Egypt is all about relationships. Egyptians value trust and personal connections, so building a bond often comes before the business talk. They also rely on mutual friends to smooth out any issues later on. Handshakes are the usual greeting, but between men and women, it depends on cultural or religious norms. Always let the other person take the lead. Also, titles like doctor or engineer are important and show respect, so stick to them until invited to use first names. In Egypt, usually time is flexible, so meetings might not start or end on time. And last-minute planning is common, so patience is key. Hospitality is central to their culture, and you'll almost always be offered tea. Accept it, it's polite. Also, always be ready to the classic question, how much sugar? When it comes to communication, Egyptians prefer indirectness to avoid offending others. So be prepared to clarify if things aren't entirely clear. Dress conservatively. Men wear suits and women dress modestly to respect cultural norms. Finally, traditions and religion shape the workplace, like providing safe transportation for women at night to avoid harassment. By understanding and respecting these practices, you'll build trust and navigate the Egyptian business world with confidence.
Egypt's strategic vocation, large consumer base, and ongoing economic reforms make it an attractive destination for global and regional business ventures, with significant opportunities in sectors like energy, infrastructure, ICT, and tourism. Setting up a business is facilitated by the General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, known as GAFI, which streamlines licensing and incorporation. Key steps include selecting a business structure, obtaining necessary permits, and complying with local tax and labor laws. Egyptian business culture emphasizes personal relationships, trust and respect, favoriting face-to-face meetings and detailed negotiations, with patience and flexibility being essential for its success. Don't forget the popular Egyptian saying, "The white penny is useful on a dark day," reminding us to the importance of wise investments. Thank you for watching, and we invite you to take advantage of Egypt's growing market and promising future to achieve your business goals.
My name is Ahmed. I'm 32 years old. I have a professional background as stockbroker, business development, and also like as a business developer in the business development sector. Also, I worked as a vendor manager in translation and localization companies. And I started also working as a translator, and I also worked as a customer service representative. This kind of like jobs like was or were like within 10 years or more than 10 years with a little bit. Yeah, but my final or my last position is a vendor manager in translation.